Hey everyone! Today I am finally going to get my microgreens started. I have this container and I have a bag of kale seeds. So I'm gonna get this all going and get it started, and then hopefully a week from now I'll have some microgreens. And because I want to do a little bit of a comparison, I'm also going to be doing up some sprouts with the exact same seeds. These are some red Russian kale that I'd saved up, even though I know I was collecting a mix of stuff after. I thought it would be good to have the exact same seeds so I can do the direct comparison of what the sprouts are like versus what the microgreens are like. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm gonna fill up this tray with a bunch of dirt, get my microgreens in there, get it watered, get the sprouts all started up, and just hang out with you guys and chat while doing it. Ugh, my daughter might actually wake up while I'm doing this, so pre-warning everyone. So I bought a big bag of dirt. This actually was kind of tricky to find. Nowhere in town is really starting up for the garden season yet, so I had to go to Walmart to find this. But yeah, well, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of starts this year, and my plan for getting soil for like a potting mix for doing starts is I'm not gonna buy stuff in a bag like this. There's actually a local farmer who makes like compost and like soil mixes, so I'll probably buy like a pickup truck worth of it. They have an organic mix. This is an organic soil mix too, so you know, I like that idea. I'm trying to not make a massive mess of my kitchen while doing this, but this is much easier to do outside if you have nicer weather than me. So far I'm still only gonna be doing microgreens for another week or two yet. Can't even get my starts going yet because it's just too early and there's still lots of snow outside. So the plan is this microgreen experiment is supposed to get me through until I can get back into gardening season again, because everything's just a little bit sad in the garden right now. Well, I don't know if I want to microgreens, because you don't really need a lot of soil for them, because they're basically just like an overgrown sprout. So I don't think you need like a ton of root space. So I don't think I'm going to fill this up all the way, so I can still have some space to mix in some water. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, just, you know, like a ½ inch lower than the level of the top of the tray, and I forgot to get water ahead of time, so I'm just gonna go grab some right now. Just give me 1 second. I thought I was so smart. I remembered my scissors, so I had everything, and then I forget one of the main ingredients of water. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to pre-moisten the soil, just because the little seeds, when they get in there, if I tried to dump a bunch of water on top of it, it would just push the seeds around. So I'm gonna basically kind of make dirt cake batter. Just get this kind of a little bit damp and crumbly, kind of like making like pie dough or like a pie crust. Like you want that kind of texture. You don't want it wet, but you want it so that like when you squeeze it, it kind of holds together. That's kind of like a good potting soil moisture level. This dirt's actually really dry. Might need more than a liter for this. Yes, this is gonna make a huge mess of my kitchen. This is definitely one of those things that is not a good idea to do in your kitchen. yeah, so the plan is once this is all moistened, I'm then going to measure out a couple teaspoons of my kale seeds, and I'm going to sprinkle them evenly along the top, and then I'm going to stick this lid back on, and then the microgreens take, like for kale, probably like 7 to 10 days. You just wait until they're kind of start to get a little bit of size to them, and then you cut them off at the level of the soil, and they're delicious and nutritious. So I've never grown them before, so I'm excited to give them a try for this first time. And then I want to do the sprouts as well, because I've done sprouts before and they're super simple, but the microgreens are kind of the trendier option right now. And I do like the fact that the microgreens, you know, you're using the same amount of seed, but you're getting like double what you'd get on a sprout. But because I've never done the microgreens, I'm interested to do kind of like a flavor comparison, and you know, like speed, how long it takes for the sprouts to get to the point that you'd eat them versus, you know, how many extra days it takes for the microgreens, and also, you know, how much of the microgreens I'm gonna get versus how much of the sprouts I'm gonna get. So just, you know, fun to do that little comparison. Okay, sorry guys, I have to go get some more water. This needed more than a liter in here. Leah, if you want, you can just get out of your bed. You can get up if you want. I'm just doing a live video. Yeah, normally when I mix my potting soil, like get all the water into it, if I'm ever using a potting soil out in the garden, I grab my wheelbarrow. I'll just put a couple shovelfuls into the wheelbarrow, and then get the hose and water it and kind of stir it around with a shovel. So this isn't necessarily the best technique for getting your potting soil all kind of damp and ready for planting. But once I kind of have this stirred in, I'll be able to show you guys like what the texture is like when you have it the right amount of moisture in there, because as I said, with the microgreens, I'm just going to be sprinkling them on the top. So I don't really want to be watering them for the first couple days, because I don't want to dump water on and then have the seeds get pushed out. I want to have an equal amount of seeds spread on the surface. I'm doing a live video. I got the... Whoa, what am I doing? I'm planting microgreens. Remember how I said that we're going to grow plants in your bedroom? I've been teasing Leah that we were going to put the microgreens in her bedroom. She doesn't like that idea. I'm not actually going to do that. They're going to go in the basement. So I do have a grow light that is the size of like a tray like this. So most people, when they do the microgreens, they let them sprout first. You don't need any light for that. So that's kind of like the first half of the growing period. And then after that, they get some light on them, just because, you know, like plants need light to live. So for me, that is one of the perks of the sprouts. Like I don't need to have any of this extra lighting equipment, because my house is super, super dark, and the getting that light to grow them, it's not like I can just put this in a windowsill somewhere and grow the microgreens. So, you know, that I have it, so I can use it right now. But once I'm doing starts, I'm gonna need the lights, and I'm not gonna be able to kind of have the microgreens going on it. So that is another concern about microgreens. If you live in a cave like I do, and you don't want to have to buy, you know, like $100 grow light or something like that. Though I think I paid $100 for mine originally, and I've had it for a bunch of years, and it's lasted. I haven't needed to replace the light bulb. And you know, if you want to have microgreens growing in your house year round, it's probably not a bad investment. Okay, so I have the soil at the amount of moisture that I like, and I don't know, I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer and kind of show you guys. So I don't know how the light is on that, but you can kind of see like it's evenly dark. And then if I grab a handful of this, I don't know if this, like, and squeeze it, it holds together, but it also can like crumble apart. And no matter how hard I squeeze it, oh, I guess, well, you don't want moisture to be pouring out when you squeeze it like a sponge. So that's kind of, a good amount of moisture. One concern with both microgreens and sprouts, we live in a super dry area, so we don't have as many issues with this, but obviously if I was trying to grow, like a room full of microgreens or sprouts, I'd start to have this issue. But mildew and like molds and things like that can be an issue because of the humidity, and so that's something you want to watch out for the sprouts. The sprouts, you rinse them every day, so it's not quite as much. But with the microgreens, you don't want that stuff to start to grow in there, because that could wreck your crop of microgreens, and you don't want to poison yourself with eating some weird mold snack. So don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna go rinse my hands off really quick. Yeah. No, I'm not done yet. Okay, so I have my soil. It's all ready here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my seeds. As I said, this is a red Russian kale. This is just a plant that grows wild in my yard. And so I save up seeds just to do whatever with these. This, I have like a cup. This is more kale than anyone needs to eat. This would feed all of California. So I don't mind using it for stuff like this. It's a good experiment because it doesn't cost me anything, and we like it. We like the kale, so I'm assuming we won't mind the microgreens. Okay, so I'm measuring this out just to because I've never done this before, so I want to get an idea of how much seed I want to use. So this is 4 teaspoons, and I'm just gonna try to sprinkle it evenly. This is probably not the best tool for sprinkling it evenly because it's pouring out. I'm not bad at seeding stuff with my hands. Kinda have a technique after a bunch of years of growing things by seed. Mommy, I don't know. I like. Mommy, yeah. I use it. Okay, thank you. You're supposed to have a lot of seeds in here, but I've kind of only sprinkled in about a teaspoon, and that's already looking like a lot of seeds. Even for something like a microgreen. I'm wondering if I'm doing. Someone's asking if I can use my fish tank for a hydroponic system, and I probably could, except for I don't really take care of it. So I definitely wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to eat the fish out of that fish tank. And I also wouldn't want to use the water necessarily to grow indoor food. When we do like water changes, we do dump the water onto our perennials, and Ian claims it's a good fish fertilizer, but I don't know. But we, for hydroponics, it's going to take a little while, Leo. You can go play downstairs if you want. The gate's open. We talked about doing a hydroponics system in because we have a separate outdoor garage, and it's pretty well insulated. It's like a pretty solid structure. So we talked about it being fun to maybe one day set up a big hydroponic system in there, because we don't use it for a garage. It's just storage. But that's pretty far down the list of things. So I have the seeds. I don't want to use that entire tablespoon. I think I used probably about 2.5. Someone's saying I should use 50 grams of seeds, but I don't know. So I'm trying to bring this in. I know my light isn't great to show you. I'm trying to look at what the picture's like. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but because the seeds are the same color. But this is like a pretty dense planting of seeds versus, versus spacing. Like, I don't want to put any more in, so I'm gonna stick with this, and I'm gonna see just kind of how it goes. I'm gonna tamp it down a little bit just to get everything kind of in place. And then I'm going to stick the lid on. And then I will just keep checking on this every day and cross my fingers that I grow microgreens. So the water that I put in there, even though there's like this dome on here that's going to keep some moisture in, this isn't like I'm going to have to water these. Like this isn't like, I'm finished until they're ready to harvest. But I do want to make sure that these aren't getting super waterlogged just because then they die, and also because of like the mold and mildew issues that you can get on them. So that's the plan on this, and I'm gonna like do footage, like filming how these grow and everything, and then when they're like kind of done, then I'll put together a video of growing these.
Mommy, you're done?
No, I'm not done yet. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. First time experiment. I'm hoping it's gonna work out good. Okay, and then I have this jar, and in here I'm going to do some sprouts with the exact same seeds. So this is just a mason jar, and then, so I'm using this because I've heard people say this. What this is like when you buy like a bag of like oranges and it comes in that mesh bag. People have said that if you fold it over a bunch of times, it makes a really good cheesecloth for doing sprouts. I don't know. When it gets all spread out, it seems like there's big holes still in it. So I'm gonna try it. I'll get back to you on it. I'll let you know how that works out. Farted. Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm gonna use a tablespoon of sprouts. Okay. So I have some bits in here because, as I said, I got these seeds myself. So I'm just gonna try to blow some of the little bits of shell out of there because I don't necessarily want that causing issues in my jar. Okay, there we go. 1 tablespoon. You have that. 1 tablespoon of seeds. And then I'm going to put some water in there. Sprouts are super simple. If you've never done them before, it's shocking how simple they are. You literally just, get them wet and then empty them, and you just do it once or twice a day. Sometimes, depending on how wet or dry they're looking. Okay, I just need 2 hands for this thing. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna let these soak just because these kale seeds are a little bit big. So I'm gonna let this soak for about a half an hour, and then I'm gonna strain the water out, and then just it sits on my counter, and I just every morning I put some more water in there and give it a shake, and then dump the water out. Someone's saying that they have issues with trying to do the sprouts, that everything gets moldy for them. As I said, I do live in a really dry place, so like my house is so dry I could like boil a pot all day and we'd never get like condensation in here. So I don't have very high humidity just as it is. So the seeds, when they're in the sprouting jar, for me, they're slightly less likely to get moldy, but I know that them going moldy is a big concern. And also, I've done some sprouts, and when the roots first grow, they have like, the way that they look, even when they're not moldy, looks like they have, like, they're starting to grow mold. So I know that depending on what sprout you're doing, it might be hard to spot the mold, or you think that they're starting to go moldy and you ditch them when it's just kind of that half day of time when they just look kind of funky. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Honestly, me and Ian, we're not big salad people, and Leah, like, she has a really hard time eating lettuce and things like that. So we don't eat a lot of salad. So because of that, like, things like microgreens and sprouts are something that I do on occasion, because, you know, like I said, I have this like bag of seeds. I have seeds everywhere, and I've had luck with them in the past, but I sometimes, like, I'll do a jar of sprouts and then I have it, and you kind of have to use them in like a couple days, and then I'll forget I have them, just because it's not like I have a salad to throw them on. It's not like I'm eating sandwiches every day for lunch. So one of the things that we do in the garden that I think gives us success is we don't really grow anything fancy, and we do that on purpose because we don't eat very fancy food. So because we're always eating just like the same basic simple things, if we grow the ingredients for those, you know, like 10 recipes that we eat over and over and over again, then we know that the food that we're growing is a lot less likely to go to waste, just because it's what we always eat. So it's, you know, if I have, you know, I complain about kale all the time on this channel, but we do regularly eat kale. Kale is like a regular part of our diet, and I don't have to worry about having a drawer full of kale going bad in my fridge, because I know, you know, at some point in a week I'm gonna do something that's gonna use kale in it, so I'll be able to use it up. So that's something that we like do on purpose when we choose what we grow. And so because of that, sometimes when I do like experiment stuff like this, like the microgreens and the sprouts, or, you know, like experimental crops that we'll try out in the garden, because I'm not used to eating it and cooking it, then sometimes those items go to waste for us, just because, you know, it's hard to change your like eating habits, I find personally. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to. I'm gonna be doing these sprouts, doing these microgreens, see how they work out. You know, it's pretty simple. Leah thinks I should be done. Yeah, like, so how long's this video been going? So like 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and I got microgreens and sprouts started, including all the time that it took to talk to you guys. It'll probably take me, you know, like 5 minutes to wipe up this dirt on my table, and if you did this outside, then you'd be doing a little bit better. But yeah, so I mean, I'll get back to you in a week on how they're doing, and I'll let you know if I think it's worth it. I'll let you know if I waste them or if I eat them or not. I also want to give you guys a heads up, because I can see that a bunch of you guys that are talking on here are the people who are always talking to me in the videos. I'm working on a cloth diaper series of videos. I have like about a week worth of cloth diaper videos, and it's like kind of totally off topic, so I want to like just put them all out at the same time, and I was gonna do them now before I have other things to talk about in the garden. So I'm not becoming a cloth diapering channel. We just have a couple cloth diaper videos that we did at kind of the beginning of the channel, and they do well for us. So we have people always asking us questions on those videos. So we just wanted to make this kind of series of videos answering all those questions that we get. And so then they're there, and, you know, we can direct people to the answers. So yeah, prepare yourself for some really random cloth diaper videos that are going to be coming up in the next couple days, and I will see you after those are done. But yeah, so unless you guys have any questions, I'll probably head out. Just, you know, I know the last one was kind of ridiculous, being an hour of me just talking about seeds, but, you know, obviously I can talk about seeds for, I don't know, like, how many more years am I gonna get left to have lungs and a voice and and a brain that works? Because that's probably how long I will be talking about seeds for. So
I'm not gonna apologize. I'm just not necessarily gonna do it every week. Yeah, so no one really has anything. And also, I know that, you know, there's 9 of you here right now, but I also have a bunch of people who watch these after. And if you guys have any questions, you know, as kind of, these end up being good kind of random Q&As. So if you have any questions that you know you're curious about stuff that Ian and I are up to, just put them below in the comments, and then, you know, it can be something that I talk about in the next week live video, because, you know, we're still gonna be doing this. Oh, and next week Ian should most likely be home. He's getting a couple days off, so Ian can join me for the live video next week. So that'll be fun. Okay, well, I'll see you guys. I just have to do the awkward turn off the live video, and I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, have a good day.